No, you shut up.
You shut up.
No, you.
We're just playing a little game.
That's right. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Shills. We're going to have it on Aimee's show tonight. Oh, boy. This might be scary. This might be good. Who knows? Well, welcome, everybody. I'm glad to see you all here. Let's get right around the room and see who is here. I'm going to start out with Mallory. Mallory, how are you this evening?
Oh man, I wasn't prepared to be the first one. Wait, can people hear me? Am I being heard? Oh yeah, I'm heard.
I think so.
Yes, Lord, we can hear you.
Oh fuck
Okay.
off.
Can you all hear us?
But I'm doing good, except it's like I woke up this morning and afternoon, evening, whatever. And people were wondering what I did with Jimmy Hoffa, and all I'm gonna say is I will not answer these types of questions. But that's about it.
Okay. We'll find out at a later date. That sounds like a plan. Well, thank you for coming. And next up, we have M2M. Matt, how are you this evening?
Good evening. Yeah, I'm pretty good. I'm lying here with a sofa with pussy on my lap. The four-legged variety, of course. A cup of cocoa, and I'm on the Shills, and life is good. I mean, what else could I possibly need? Apart from maybe the real pussy, but that's another story. That's okay. We won't go there. We'll leave it at that. And another thing as well, Matt, shut up.
Oh,
You shut up.
They were having shut up fights earlier. So there we go. And next up, we have Bob the Science Guy with us. How are you tonight, Dr. Bob? Oop, did we lose you?
You died.
Crickets.
No, we didn't die.
No, I didn't die. I'm sitting right here. I just had to turn my audio on. Come on. I know better than that.
Oh, my child is so good. So how are you tonight?
Oh, I'm doing great. I mean, this is the high point of my month. I'm on the Shills tonight. Of
Yay.
everything that could possibly go on this month, this is the thing I've looked forward to the most.
Awesome.
Hey.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And next up, we have Loki Fish Mars. Loki Fish, how are you this evening?
Doing pretty good. Just kind of sitting back, chillaxing, hanging out with some friends, and getting ready for my trip tomorrow.
Excellent. Sounds fun. And next up, we have Mippet69. Mippet, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Yeah, I'm doing pretty good this morning. It's Sunday over here in the future, and it's family day afternoon. So I'm looking forward to stupid in the morning, fun in the afternoon. So it's going to be a great day. And I have my pad and pen at the ready for note-taking, and I will sum up at the end of the show as always.
Fake Australian actor. It's all fake.
NASA spends a lot of money getting them that accent to make them seem like they're from another part of the world.
I know, right?
This is coming from Bob the Science Guy, so you know this shit's legit.
That's right.
Exactly. And next up, we have DKG Custom. DKG, how are you this evening?
Oh boy, what a moment to have a complete and utter system failure and reboot. But here I am.
Life with a Mac.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. Just get rid of the Mac. It's a load of rubbish. You know it. Come to the dark side. It'd be much better.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, but I have the mother of all Macs, so I don't need to worry about that anymore. I just
Yeah,
got a new one.
Yeah, but it's still a Mac.
Yeah, it works great.
Excellent.
Yeah, well,
sad boy.
Works great until it all breaks down and you have to spend twice the amount that you actually paid for it to fix it. Yeah, that's great.
Well, if it ever
had
broke
to.
down, yeah.
Yeah.
Of course it's going to break down.
Not unless I drop it, and then it's covered.
Yes.
I shouldn't have started this.
No.
Oh, did I hear a hint of insurance fraud there, Bob? Oh dear,
No.
it's costing that life.
And continuing on.
Hey, $400, I can do anything I want to it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Last but not least, we have Dick Dawson. Dick, how are you this evening?
Oh, good. I
don't know what happened there. It ended our intro early for some reason. I don't know what the hell was going on there, but you figured it out. I was across the room getting a drink, so I couldn't even get to my mic in time. But yeah, it's cool. We're all hanging over at Aimee's tonight. Should be fun. Nobody has any real idea what we're gonna do, but we might put an invite out and see if we can't get a guest on here to join us very soon. So on that note, I'll say hello, everybody, and mute and do a little something in the background.
Sure.
Before we start, I just want to make a little announcement. My missus, my future wife to be, is listening in. She might be in the chat. Her name's Nina, so if you see Nina, say something, say hi. I can't actually see anything at the moment, so hopefully she's listening. I'm not sure.
Hi, Nina.
Hopefully.
Bye, Nina.
Hi, Nina.
We'll try not to abuse them too badly tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, we will. We will.
Yes, we will.
There we go. So we're sort of doing a yes, sir. We're sort of doing a pub chat kind of thing tonight. So I was just wondering, does anybody have anything that they saw this week that was other than what happened to us? Anything going on news-wise?
Well, I've been spending the day harassing anti-vaxxers, which has actually kind of, it was been therapeutic actually, and just been asking one simple question, and I haven't had an answer all day long, and I've probably asked the question, I don't know, about 15 times across 3 different platforms, and the simple question is, can you provide any verifiable evidence with source data that thousands of people are dying from vaccine injuries? Simple question. Haven't had a single answer apart from do your own research and look on Google. That's it. That's all I've had all day long. I wonder why.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely.
You're not seriously asking anti-vaxxers for data, are you?
Yeah.
I mean, really?
Yeah. Yep. Keep asking it and making it public that, of course, I know I'm not getting an answer, Bob. We know this. I know that.
Do you still believe in Santa Claus? I mean, it's okay if you do. Don't get me wrong.
He's got to do his own research on that.
Of course I do. Of course I believe in Santa. You telling me what? You telling me it's not real, Bob?
Santa is real, yes.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Don't do that again.
That makes you feel better. That's what I'll tell you.
Make you feel good.
All right, guys, got a question for you. Mind if I stream this out on one of my channels?
Sure.
So you get a little extra?
Sure.
Yeah,
thank
please
you.
do,
That
man.
would be wonderful.
All right.
Thank you so much.
That's a great idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
Give me a moment and I'll simulcast it. How does that sound?
Cool idea.
Perfect. Thank you.
That sounds technical.
I've got a laptop here that I'm about to do that with myself. So then that way, if you have a debate, you can put it on the let's say the victims channel as well, if they would like. You know what I mean?
That would be cool.
Yeah, we did it for a couple of the guys before because I used a Restream account. But now I know we can do a thing with OBS and I can stream to multiple channels anyway. So, why pay them? I'll just do it myself. We have somebody that's going to come in and join us, Dr. Bob, and is looking forward to chatting with yourself.
Oh, isn't that sweet?
Yeah, I think this will be excellent.
Well, give me a second and we'll go ahead and do that.
Yeah.
Is this a nightwear gentleman?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, good. All right. Well,
my little guy's calling me from upstairs. Sorry, everybody. I'll be 1 minute. Be right back.
That's okay. Not a problem. Matt's been back and forth. That's why I have to keep muting every once in a while too. So so not too much has been happening that I've found this week. I haven't found too much. Nothing major for news. So I don't know. Nobody else has found anything? Oh, I want to thank DKG Custom. He he really ramped up the my grub muffin thing. So that was great. Thank you so much for that.
No problem. I see him dancing on the pool table.
Exactly. Yes, it's so funny. Thank you. Oops, he left again. Okay, so yes, there he goes. We're gonna try again and see what we can do here. pjcnet, hello and welcome. I'll see if I can get you to, if you can unmute in the meets, that would be great, and we'll see what else is going on. So yes, if you go in the Shills, we'll have that in the Shills Discord server. We'll have that up for you. It's really funny. It's
Oh, he left again.
Oh, he did. Okay, so we'll have to see what's going on there.
Well, maybe he's having a little trouble with his equipment.
Yeah, I think so.
That's what she said.
Yeah, I'm sure the doctor
Not
can
touching
prescribe a
that.
cream.
Not touching it.
That's what she said.
Right.
I sure as hell I'm not touching that.
Oh, yeah,
That's
not
what
going
she
near
said
that.
again.
Oh God,
So mature.
that's funny. So, yeah. So I haven't seen too much in the flat Earth world yet, but so nothing so far. Nothing major. How about you, Mippet? Have you seen anything lately?
There's not too much. Well, they're all crazy. I try and keep away from the crazy sometimes because I'm crazy enough. I do talk to myself. So,
Well, hold on a minute. You're hanging out with a meets full of crazies. So, I mean, what the hell?
well, I do spend a lot of time in an asylum. So, I don't know what that says about me. Although I am a nurse there, I dispense medications. A lot of them to myself, so it's a really good gig, I reckon.
That's why you volunteered so quickly. You're like, I'll hold those keys. I'm like, oh, all right, okay, here you go.
Mippet's in the medicine cupboard, just off her tits, sitting in the corner, completely up and not.
Yeah, most of our budget goes right straight to there, and I was wondering why, but now I know. Truth is out.
Yeah.
Hey, stop it! I smuggle your bottles of vodka in. Don't you give me the shit.
Okay, fair deal. I won't say shit. Keep the keys.
Well, we did have a good comment. Kevin Conrad said Glowbusters did take a quote unquote break, LOLs, and they're right. They did say that they were pausing their videos for an indefinite amount of time, so that was something else too. So yes, I hear they're taking a break, so that should be interesting. Indefinitely.
Who is that? Sorry, who's taking a break? Who was that? I missed that.
Glowbusters.
Oh, really?
They decided to take a break indefinitely, they said. So that should be interesting.
Oh, that's such a shame. It really is. I'm going to miss them. Oh, no.
I'm so heartbroken.
What am I going to do with my life now? The Glowbusters are not broadcasting. I don't know.
Oh, come on. They're not broadcasting now?
No, apparently they're taking a break, Bob, apparently. I mean,
I'm so disappointed. I know,
right?
Forward to spending a little time with them.
I know.
I'll send you a box of Kleenex. No worries.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
But it was all about the infighting in the flat
I
Earth
heard about that.
within itself.
What's
They're
going
all
on
upset
with
that everyone's pinching each other on their bottoms, and they're just so upset.
What on earth is going on with that? How come? I mean, they're going over various marital infidelities and criminal records and things like that. What the hell is that doing on YouTube?
Hashtag same team.
No, they've been measuring penis sizes, and David Weiss got a bit upset because he was the smallest, and it just went on from there. Really, just snowballed. It's just that's how.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
That man has no dick.
Aha. Tiny Captain was right. I found their, it's still up, surprisingly. Tiny Captain was right. Globebusters took a break because of the argument between Jake the Asshole and Jeranism. And they said, to be honest, we are all sort of burned out. Let me see here. All sort of burned out and disgusted overall with the actions of the community. All the shill calling, fighting, screaming, and hollering like insane people, dick measuring, and being hit with so much hate because we propose different ideas in this community has become nearly intolerable. Why do people have to project so much hate and then take up this stupid us versus them mentality? Irony is just so heavy in this post.
Yeah, well, I could answer that question because it's because they've got fuck all else to talk about.
Exactly. And it says, honestly, it makes me want to walk away and never come back sometimes. Anyway, we think it's best to take some time off and let the insanity the community is experiencing mellow out a little bit. And then, yeah, so I feel that the insane accusations and shill calling that have reared their ugly heads lately need to be ignored and discouraged. And we as a community need to get refocused on why we are here in the first place. This world is a very ugly place full of lies and treachery, and we cannot do what we need to do with so much insanity and hatred hanging over our heads. Sorry, I didn't mean to laugh at that. It is for this reason that I have decided to suspend the show for a while, so we may make plans to get back on track with our original intentions for this channel. And they're planning some major changes, they said, too. So,
well, I'm deeply disappointed that the Globebusters won't be around for a while. I was actually looking forward to doing some work with them. I've had so much fun with Nathan Oakley and Quantum Eraser. I thought it was time for Jeranism and Bob, Mr. 15 Degree Drift. Thanks, Bob.
Bobby 15. God love him.
The problem you run into with those guys is they their defense mechanism is that they put out these 22-hour-long streams and think nobody will watch them. Well, I think we're going to watch a few of them. So
yeah.
You keep it on in the background and you pick out the really interesting parts is what I'm going to do.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. But that's funny, though.
Transcribe it or something, right? You can read through and make your timestamps and go and find the stuff,
Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
PJ, did you make it?
A lot of stuff to do, and we can sit on it down and just keep it on in the background,
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So
let's see if PJ's got audio. PJ, sure. If you're on a computer with headset, because I remember he got a headset. Down in the bottom of Meets, there's the 3 dots. Click there and go to settings, and that's where you can select your audio sources. And that's probably what's going on is your browser isn't picking the right ones.
Yep.
I'm assuming he can hear me now. That could be an assumption. I don't even know.
Right, exactly. So
yeah, I kind of didn't think about that. But yeah, we'll see. So far, nothing, but we'll see.
Okay, they can't hear me out. They can't hear me out on YouTube right now, so I'm going to have to make a couple of quick changes here. We're going to see whether or not we can
really?
fix this up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's probably my fault here. I've got
Wait, I just checked the stream and I heard you on there.
You hear me on your stream. You don't hear me on my stream.
Oh, your stream.
My stream's the important part here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Double routing going on. Yeah. PJ, I did a second ago here like a click. It almost sounded like the connection isn't 100%. Maybe see if it's just not plugged in all the way. I mean,
because that happens.
Yeah. I hope we can make it work.
Just kind of get together. All right. So that's good.
Here, I got a thing I can share quick. This is just unbelievable. Eric Clapton.
Oh, yes. The Eric Clapton thing. What a jerk.
So a widow, this woman whose late husband had bought some Eric Clapton live CD. She sold it on eBay for $11. Eric finds out, and it's a bootleg CD, and he sues her for $4,000.
What a dick!
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a dick move, guys. I'm sorry. It just is.
Totally. Yeah, and he's already an outspoken anti-vaxxer and whatnot. So, I mean, that's just it right there. Take your Eric Clapton albums and use them as fucking coasters, you know?
Exactly.
What a prick.
Yeah, he's just being a jerk. Yeah.
Can you hear me, guys?
Yes.
Hey, now we can.
Jay. How are you tonight?
I'm all right. Is my loud enough?
Yes. Yes, you sound good. It's nice and clear.
It's all right. The cat jumped up and ripped the cable out earlier, and I thought it broke.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh, jeez.
Well, everything should be working there. Let's double check one last thing here. All the settings are right.
Yeah. Hey, PJ.
Still no Bob. Still no Bob out in the
out on your side.
out in the audio. That's kind of pissing me off.
Yeah.
According to this, it is going out. There's obviously something going on here.
Oh, you're experiencing the thing with Google Meets where you don't hear your own voice in Google Meets, only everybody else. What you want to do right now, Dr. Bob, is join with a second browser from a second account and use that audio to feed out to your stream, because then people will hear you as well.
Oh, for God's sake, why don't you just use Zoom, something that works?
Because I find Zoom to be terrible. I don't know. We didn't like it at all.
I've never had any issue with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we found it.
Now I got to sit down and I got to try something different, because that's what's going on. It's your freaking software on your end. My software is working.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I have one browser right now running on the Shills account, and that's the feed we send out to everybody. And then I join with my own account. Right, so I'm running two browsers doing this.
I'm going to try one last thing here and then.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that should, I'll watch, bring another account in. And yeah, and then we'll be able to have a cool chat, and this will be awesome.
Yeah, this will be great.
I'm going to bring us over to the main set. That way we got our little Christmassy stuff going. There's the dancing grub muffin on the pool table there.
Yes, that's so cute.
Getting his Christmas groove on.
He is. Look at him go. Look at him go to town. He's dancing right away there. That's too funny. I displayed him in our server too, so that should be funny.
Cool. Yeah, let people use it and stuff, right? You know.
Yes, exactly.
And
exactly.
We'll get the grub muffin in on the Shills channel for a members thing as well.
Yes. Yes, we need to do that. And I wonder if there's a way we could make like a Discord emoji too. I think that would be really funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would. That'd be epic.
That'd be cool.
Love it. Because I could use that everywhere for all the grub muffins I encounter. That'd be perfect.
Totally.
It'd be funny if we responded with grub muffin. Woohoo! It's STST in the chat. Hello, STST. Good to see you.
How you doing, buddy?
Good to see you. That's awesome. He's a good addition.
I had a little chat today with a guy in a comment section. They were talking about I can't remember. I watched some flirtastical video, and it was very much anti-vax stuff. And so I put a comment. I said, look, at this point, like as of today, there's 3.63 billion people that are fully vaccinated, not just a single dose or anything, but fully vaccinated. And yet the hospitals are filled with people that are unvaccinated and coming down with COVID. Like, have you got an answer for this? What the hell?
What is up with that? I know.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I mean,
but
Is 16 million, is that across the US or across the world, or what's?
Well, I've got some of the stats here in front of me.
Oh, okay.
So in the United States, they've got 492 million doses given, 202 million fully vaccinated.
Wow.
Yeah.
What's the rough population of the United States?
330 some odd million.
Okay, so it's 220 odd million, did you say, vaccinated?
202 million. Yeah, they got a percentage of 61.3.
Which is really good considering.
You know.
Yeah, I mean it's not enough to obviously stop over the variants, is it? Clearly.
No.
Yeah,
No, it's not. But considering that it's the United States, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
The United Kingdom is at 69.8% fully vaccinated percentage.
Yeah, and at the moment they're actually going through a campaign of booster. So they're pushing between now really and Christmas to get as many as they can boosted. So it'll be those kind of pretty much 30 and upwards, I think, 40 and upwards or something, I think.
Mallory and I got you guys beat. Canada's at 77%.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Okay,
That's
cool.
really good. I should check my local stats too, and the world stats would probably be really good.
Australia's right up there at 76. What? UAE is at 91.2%. Well done. Well done.
No kidding. That's amazing.
I'll be curious to know if they got a result for Brazil, because they were extremely slow to start vaccinating, weren't they? Because the president basically denied COVID for quite a long time. They're up to
66.5 now.
That's excellent.
That's not bad at all.
Total doses given around the world so far, 8.47 billion with a B. So fully vaccinated around the world right now is 3.63 billion, another B. So the world now is up to 46.6%. Hopefully we can get that higher, but that's a lot of people who are fully vaccinated and a lot of doses given. That's incredible. That's absolutely incredible.
So
that's amazing.
When you look at these numbers, to say that something is amiss and whatnot, I mean, seriously, the whole global economy would be in complete shutdown in the whole 9 yards if those vaccinations were dangerous. Like, there would be nothing on my shelves to buy at the grocery store. The whole world would have already collapsed.
Yep.
Well, the problem that you run into is, they're confusing politics with science when it comes to the vaccine. And that just is not going to cut it.
Right. Yeah. I had the argument with an anti-vaxxer. They were basically saying it's a political issue. And in my view, it's not.
It is to them. That's the problem. That's why we're having an issue. The more they yell about masks and vaccines, the longer we're going to be in masks and vaccines.
Correct.
Exactly. Yeah, but that's pretty much what I said. I'm glad you said that, Bob. Pretty much what I said.
So if they want to know why we're still in this situation, they need to look in the mirror when they brush their teeth. Oh, wait a minute.
Exactly. We have in the state of Maine, I'm very proud of my state, 84.4% have had their first dose. Fully vaccinated is 75%. Very good, Maine. Keep it up.
Nice.
Yes.
No doubt.
We usually do very well that way for the most part, especially in the southern areas of my state. So
kind of made me laugh today because there was a lady on TikTok that came on, and she's American. She was talking about visiting the UK and how pleasantly surprised she was and all the rest of it as well. She said never saw a policeman while she was there. So obviously there's very little crime. That kind of made me giggle. And then she said that they seem to take the vaccine very seriously. It's like getting the vaccine is not a question. And I'm like, hang on a minute. If you've not seen what's been going on in London these last couple of days, there's been riots, pretty much, big protests. There's big protests, anti-vax protest in Belfast. I mean, they say it's an anti-lockdown protest, but it isn't. It's an anti-vaccine protest because they're all anti-vaxxers, all of them, every single one of them. She's a little bit kind of not getting the bigger picture of what's going on in the UK.
Whoa. Yeah, look at on the screen there. Look at Egypt. 17%. What the actual fuck is going on over there?
Ouch. That's not good.
Why don't you guys let me know if you're getting an audio from this?
Okay. Let me go to the
Yeah, it's not reading this one either.
Oh, okay.
You know what the actual, what, I mean, it's showing that my audio is going out, but my YouTube channel.
Everybody's saying no dice, eh?
Yeah, they're saying they can't hear me, and I've got my Yetis going out, and it's just not going out onto YouTube for some reason. I've got to figure out. I have no idea why that is.
Okay.
Huh.
So it's just pissing me off right now more than anything.
Yeah. I hate that, especially when you want it right now and it just simply doesn't. That's the worst.
That is.
So who's the lowest number of vaccinated on that list then, Dick? Who's have you got it in order of percentage? Who's the lowest?
It's just a search I did, but let's just scroll through here. 27 for Bangladesh was bad.
Right, Egypt was your worst at 17.
Yeah. 17. Oh, 17.2 for what the hell is that?
What have we got?
How do you say that?
I can't see the screen properly. What's that?
Uzbekistan? Sorry, anybody from there. Yeah. Never heard of the place before, but I guess that's my ignorant Canadian way. Sorry.
Yeah, they've got 17%.
Myanmar, what used to be Burma at 21, yeah. South Africa at 26, Ukraine at 29. Don't say the Ukraine to anybody from there. Wow, you get in trouble. Just pointing it out. 29% for Nepal. I can make that come bigger. 13 for Iraq. 12.3 for Algeria. Nigeria, 2%.
Oh my gosh.
No, Ethiopia. Ethiopia 1.3.
Ah, there you go.
Is this financial or is this decision?
Such a mixture. It's complicated.
Yeah. It's probably a whole load of Ethiopia. I mean, I know they've had issues with civil wars and all sorts going on, and I don't know what the current situation is there at the moment. But I should imagine it's probably a lot to do with supply and money. Yeah, I would say so. And the sheer logistics of it, probably just getting it to the people.
Because at this point, so many first world nations or whatever have bought in so many doses to give to the people. Can't these companies just go, okay, well, we better just bring it to them just fucking because we have to? I mean, come on, at what point isn't enough? Like Kenya at 6.5, Uganda 2.8.
Well, I think the U.S. at some point, I'm just quoting this from memory, so it's not, but I think, I think the U.S. is trying to send some to different countries, to less developed countries than ours. So I think that's what they're doing. They're trying, but I think others are going to start doing that soon. So hopefully that we'll see numbers start rising again as well. So,
yeah. Holy, there's a lot of low numbers. Sudan 2.8, Afghanistan 9.2.
Yep.
How's Canada?
We're up at 77%. We're up at one of the very high ones.
Yep.
Ghana.
Yeah, I'm filing my immigration papers right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm coming.
Yeah, my state is actually at 75%. I'm very proud of them. Very good. Yes, very good. I'm proud of you, Maine. Keep it up. Keep going. Getting my booster on Tuesday.
All right, we're going to try this one more time over on my channel, and
Okay.
I'm going to abandon that and just record it on yours.
Okay.
Okay.
It looks like there's a 15. I saw a 12.
You just do a screen and audio cap on YouTube and just send it back over.
That's kind of what I'm trying to do right now, and the problem is that, for some reason, it's not going out on my channel, and there's no reason for it not to be going out on my channel.
That's weird.
Yeah, it really, truly is, because according to this, it's going out.
Okay, with the Republic of the Congo at 0.1%, my argument is really leaning towards money at this point. Holy fuck.
I think so.
They were given the vaccines, were they not?
No idea.
Yeah.
Still no mic on my channel for some reason. That is totally bizarre.
So
check in OBS what you're grabbing as an audio source, because you want it from YouTube now, right?
Yeah, I got it. Okay, well, no Bob. I've got it grabbing my audio, and this is the same way my stuff's set up normally.
Weird. Wonder what's going on.
Weird.
Yeah, it's totally bizarre. I've never seen anything like it. Really, really strange. Well, we got one more thing that we could try.
Okay.
And that is, we're going to switch mics.
There we go.
Could always use two mics, one for one, the other for the other.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
Oh, I shouldn't. Yeah. You start to look like a press conference, not a fucking streamer.
Yeah. All right, the lapel mic's working right now. We should be getting something out with that.
Excellent. That's cool.
So still not getting sound?
Oh, over on yours? Yeah.
Well, according to this, it's going out.
Yeah. Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Now, yeah, but they can't hear it.
No.
And the problem is if they can't hear it, there's no point in doing it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come back in a minute. I'm going to go ahead and restart the computer, and I'm going to come back in a minute and see if that's the problem.
Oh, okay.
Alrighty.
Sounds good.
So, let's see. Where do we start from here? I really wish that would have worked better. PJ, how's things going your way? What's happening?
I'm all right, thank you. Sorry, just clear my phone. I'm okay, thanks.
Alrighty. Cool. Yeah, we, damn it, that wouldn't work. That sucks. But either way, we'll figure this out in a minute here. We'll just, jibber jabber and do what we do anyway, right?
I was PJ. You were on Mr. S's. I think that was the first live show that you did, didn't you? And for some bizarre reason, I don't really know why, but I always thought PJ was American. I have absolutely no idea. I just got into my head he was American, and then I come on and I hear this Brummy voice. It's like, what the heck?
This is the second time I've ever been on.
Yeah.
This is the first time I heard his voice. I didn't know this. Hello.
Yeah.
So is that British?
Brummy.
Yeah, Brummy is British. Yeah. Yeah. They
probably grew up with Richard Hammond, right?
Well, I mean, Richard Hammond didn't even sound Brummy, does he? PJ, he's not really. The thing about Brummies, right? For those that you not know, they sound thick, but they're actually not. They're actually pretty intelligent, most of them, but they just come across that way. They get that wrong impression, don't they? People Brummies being thick, but no, they're definitely not.
No, exactly. It's sort of like the Maine accent. Some of the Downeasters have that really heavy accent, and a lot of people think that they're that they're dumb too and backwards and everything and don't have running water and actually quite smart. It's just, I guess it's the accent that throws them off. So I don't know. So
I was just catching something in the chat there. I have noticed, over Christmas, a lot of people pre-do videos and then release them so that, they can have their family time and whatnot. I mean, when you're streaming like we do, it doesn't really work that way. But in the world of conspiracy videos, everybody just seems to go on, business as usual. So does that lead to any outcast of the family type situations, do you wonder? Because there just never seems to be anything to do.
Right.
I mean, can you imagine going to Thanksgiving dinner and listening to fucking Cece Chris for 3 hours? No way.
Oh, God.
I kind of get the impression that his family would actually let him. I don't think. Get off that bloody YouTube again, idiot. Like his wife said before. So no.
Him and his wife show up at his wife's place for Christmas. No, you get the fuck out of here and take your idiot boyfriend, husband fucking thing with you. Fuck off. We already told you.
Idiot. Right. She says in that.
That's so funny.
Mind you, I mean, if I ended up, if you did a stream on Christmas Day, I don't think my family would be too impressed with that either, to be fair. But it is what it is. It's family time, and Christmas Day, it's got to be.
I bet Cece's wife goes to the store when she's shopping and stuff in an oversized baseball cap and aviators, and people think she might be abused, but it's just sheer shame and embarrassment.
Right.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Clive Wells says that Cece has to have his Thanksgiving dinner in his car. Not surprising.
What's with the flirting and driving too? Why? I understand you feel safe in your car because, people can't listen to you and laugh and whatnot. But at the same time, you got Witsit doing all this public stuff. So do you think the car is a safe zone, or is it because they see others doing it and figure they should do it that way too? I don't quite get it. You remember that guy was always in his car if he wasn't at his whiteboard and so on.
Yes. He was one. CC is one. There've been quite a few. Richie from Boston used to do that a lot. You see him in his truck.
Who's the guy that died recently? Just recently in the flat Earth community.
Oh yeah, I think I know who. Flat Earth Fokker.
Fokker, yeah, that's right. He used to do most of his in the car.
Another one.
Yeah.
There was another one who used to film in his car all the time, driving around everywhere, not wearing a seatbelt, and.
I don't get that either. What's the thing? Have you ever heard anything about that, PJ? Why a lot of them do in their car? Have you, through the grapevine, so to speak?
I haven't heard anything specific, but I could think it could be because maybe their family don't know they're flat earthers. And they're doing it, except they're doing it to stay out when the family are at home, so they can talk openly.
I can imagine sort of maybe some of them do that, maybe, but I wouldn't have thought all of those would. The family don't like it. Maybe I don't know. Strange.
Yeah, it is strange, isn't it? It's I find that strange when they do that. So it has to be something like that. They're hiding it for now and then later on. And so which is good. Yeah.
So following on what I was saying, I was saying that I was asking that question about COVID, about vaccination injuries, and I've been asking that question over the last 3 days. I was kicked off one Facebook group. I left another. I was blocked from a TikTok account, And what else? I think that's about it so far. Just asking that question. That's it.
Yeah.
That's just, I just want an answer to it. You know, I mean, if you're gonna make claims, I mean, that's, like I said, that's the biggest claim that anti-vaxxers have got. They're saying that there's thousands of people dying from vaccine injuries. Okay, fine, make the claim, but you got to back it up with something. But it seems to me that I'm just not getting an answer from anybody, and the only responses I've had is do your own research, and the popular one was Google it.
Yep.
I've Googled it. I can't find any data whatsoever that supports the theory that
I
thousands
wonder...
dying from vaccine injuries.
Right.
I mean, there was one guy who said, well, vaccine injuries are because of this condition, that condition, and all the rest of it is causing this condition. But the thing is that people will die from those conditions anyway. They're saying things like heart attack, blood clots, and all those kinds of things. People are dying for that, of course. So that's going to be recorded on the death certificate, right? But there's no data anywhere that says that these injuries are a result of vaccine.
Right.
There's going to be a few, absolutely, particularly with people that do have a bad reaction who should never have got the vaccine because of immuno problems and stuff like that. Yeah, it does occur. But the claim is there's thousands die every single day. But I can't get an answer from anybody as to where this evidence comes from and what the claim is and have some sort of evidence of that claim. Nowhere. I just haven't got an answer. You know, why am I not getting an answer?
I don't know. A lot of them, I know that they try to use. They seem to be using VAERS, which is the vaccine, adverse, reactions website thing. Yeah. It's so a lot of them are pulling from there. But a lot of those that are on there have not been researched yet. They're still in the ongoing investigations for a lot of that, because all it is just people reporting in what they think are, what they are putting in for, Yeah,
well, that's it. But that's what I'm asking. I'm asking for verifiable evidence, and I've said that so. For verifiable evidence with data source, because people reporting things and can't be verified. The only way it can be verified is medically verified, right? It's a death as a result of that. So, okay, fine. You can have an argument to say, well, the doctors are part of the scam. Okay, that's fine. That's another claim. Okay, fine. Where's the evidence for that? This is what gets me, right? Okay, you get flat earthers can make claims. Okay, they'll present some evidence of some kinds. Quite often, it's wrong. Okay, but the thing is, there's no evidence to support that claim whatsoever. None. At all, and it's quite dangerous to make that kind of claim, and it is the biggest claim that anti-vaxxers are actually making at the moment. Literally, people are speaking in London and also, the nearest city to me in Belfast, and saying that in front of thousands of people.
Yep.
They can't back it up with anything, and. To me, that's bizarre. It's bizarre. And the only thing you can think of, well, it's not true. Well, if it's not true, they must know it's not true. But then why are they making that claim? Because, even flat earthers won't very often, at least collectively, individually, you might make some spurious claims. But you wouldn't get a whole flat earth community coming up with something that they know is not true, without at least attempting to provide some sort of evidence.
Well,
but they're not even attempting. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's it right there too. It's Ugly German Truth tells me, because I made a mistake when I was trying to say the name. I just went bleh. But yeah, it's the Vaccine Adverse Effects Reporting System, and one of the things why they're not making this claim, and why they're not really backing up this evidence, and I think this is a good chunk of it. Thank you, Meraki. They say that it's confirmation bias, plain and simple, and a lot of the times it is. Right. That's what I've noticed too. They're only seeing what they want to see, and I've realized that too when I've been in Discord over in Gem's server. There are a lot of anti-vaxxers in there who discuss these type of things in there, and that's what they're doing. Because I'll read their link and it won't really say what they think it says, and it'll say, well, I'm reading through and it's like, okay, well, why are you saying it says this when, and I'll put the quote in there from what I found, and I get accused of all kinds of things. I get called names. It's just no real rebuttals either. And a lot of the times they'll just post the stuff and leave it there.
Right.
And you're supposed to figure out what they mean by posting whatever it is they're posting, and it's kind of like,
But I really think that that's the whole crux of the anti-vax movement with the COVID vaccine. It seems to be their best argument. But here's the other thing as well, right? At least here in the UK, I'm pretty sure if you're suspicious of your loved one's death, you can request a post-mortem, right? So a post-mortem has to be done, legally has to be done, right? So if so many people are dying of the vaccine, why aren't all these post-mortems being done? Why aren't all these requests being done, sought after, because they suspect it's from a vaccine injury as a result of it? And if that's the case, where are all these thousands of deaths, and where is it recorded, and where's the data? And if you've got data, verify it. How can it be verified? Claiming something on a website is fine. Okay, well and good. Fine, you can claim it, but it's not verifiable. You can we all know, we've all seen it. You could go on that website and you could say anything, literally anything, because it's not being verified.
Right. Right. And it's hard to verify what, and a lot of the times I'll notice this too, that they'll run with, they'll make these claims and they'll run with it. And you'll hear about these claims and it's like, well, where are they getting this? I don't even see this anywhere. I've never heard this claim before or something. And it's, it's just really, it's just really weird.
Yeah, I mean, you could argue all day what's in the vaccine and whether whether it was rushed through and all the rest of it, all those sort of things. You can argue all day long. But for me, how can you possibly argue or claim there's thousands of people dying from vaccine injuries when there's just no evidence for it? It's just a bizarre thing to me, and I've been asking for days now on multiple platforms, across all different platforms. I don't know, dozens and dozens and dozens of times, and I'm just getting nothing. So you've got to just say, well, it isn't true. It can't be true. So, unless somebody comes back and tells me, and there's verifiable data of all these thousands of people dying of the vaccine, then fine, I'll believe it. Go ahead. Right. But nobody has. And I'm going to keep asking. I'm going to keep asking and keep asking and keep asking. And I'm going to make it public that people see that I'm asking. So I may do a video in the future and try and push it through as much as possible and show people that these anti-vaxxers are making false claims.
Yes.
Because and I'll probably do that for a few more weeks. I'm going to keep asking every day, every single day.
Good idea. Good idea.
The problem with the anti-vaxxers is they really just don't have the background to do the research that they need to understand this issue. Right. I don't know how to change the brakes in my car, but I know people who do. I can read a manual just like anybody else. It doesn't really mean that much to me. That's why, if I need my brakes changed, I'm going to go ahead and consult somebody who actually knows how to do it. These anti-vaxxers somehow think that by watching a few YouTube videos, they're suddenly become an expert in virology, immunology, medicine, and public health, and they aren't. And they don't make good decisions. It's one of the reasons we have public health laws.
Exactly. It really is.
I'm sorry about the audio issues that I had tonight. There's obviously something going on with this. It may be Meets because I haven't changed any of the settings that I use for my broadcasts, and mine go out just fine. Okay. So it just may be something that goes on there. But you know what I always say to the anti-vaxxers? Just from my aspect, well, here's the deal. We live in a society. and society has rules. And as the judge told Flat Earth Foker, these rules are not by your consent. They don't require your consent to follow the law. Public health laws basically say that you need to be vaccinated to do certain things. That's not up for your approval. If you don't like it, there are two options that you have. Either one, you can elect people to represent you that don't believe in science. We do seem to have a group of people that do that. Or two, you can take it to court, because that's the way we change things in a free society. We either elect people that more closely follow our wishes, or if we feel that our rights are being violated, we can take it to court. Going on out and bitching on YouTube is not going to do anything and is, quite frankly, irrelevant. So, the bottom line is, if your community requires you to be vaccinated to be in school, or if the airliner requires you to be vaccinated in order to be on one of their privately owned aircraft, quite frankly, you can either vaccinate or do what Central Michigan University does. And that is that you will be vaccinated to attend classes here. Or if you choose not to be vaccinated, you will submit to weekly testing. Those are the two conditions that you can be here. There's no religious exemption for weekly testing. If you feel that your religion or your personal beliefs preclude you from vaccinating, not a problem. You're going to wear a mask, because there's no religion that says you can't wear a mask, and you're going to get a nasal swab shoved into your posterior nasal pharynx on a weekly basis. And if you don't do it, we're going to fine you, and you will pay the fine as a condition of continuing to be in school. Simple as that. And as a result, their vaccination rate in students is over 80%. Their faculty vaccination rate is 92%, and the community vaccination rate is 55%.
And where's that, Bob?
Central Michigan University in Mount Pleasant, Michigan.
Nice.
And if you don't like it, you don't have to go to school. Nobody's forcing you to do it.
Yep. And at Matt's school, not only is he fully vaccinated, he wears a mask all day, every day. He's fine. He gets tested all the time. I opted into that. I did that on purpose. I don't want this kid to get sick. It's like I take these health things very seriously. I don't have the time to go chasing around all these conspiracies and listen to them before listening to what the health authorities are saying. It's just, I'm going to make sure that I, follow all the rules that I possibly can to keep myself safe, because I'm the only one that Matt has now, and to keep him safe as well, so he doesn't get sick too. I don't want him to get sick. I don't want him, to get injured from this disease, because he could. It's so, yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be a group effort to really get it done.
Well, it is. Exactly. It's just,
look how fast Omicron spread. I mean, it's everywhere already.
Exactly.
No time.
And I just got a sort of super chat. Thank you so much. This is from Steaming Cup of Reason. He says, "My very best to you all. Happy holidays." Thank you so much, Jeff. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Hey, cool.
This is a question actually I'd like to direct to Dr. Bob, if I may. In terms of Omicron, what's the difference between Omicron and the previous variants? What can you tell us about it? How it compares?
There's a never-ending battle between pathogens and our efforts to end public health. All right.
Right. Yeah.
One of the problems that you run into with a pathogen is it has to keep you somewhat alive so that it can reproduce, which is its goal. It does not achieve its goal if it kills the host. So if you have a particularly deadly pathogen, that's going to die out quickly, because it's going to kill such a high percentage of its host. It's looking for that sweet spot that, it can maintain itself in a population and continue to reproduce without killing off its host. Omicron Delta was pretty bad. Omicron is new. They've got more information on it in the UK where it's a little bit more prevalent, but it's starting to rise here.
Right. Yeah.
And, we don't really have I don't have a good characterization of it compared to, say, Delta or straight COVID. Correct. So the bottom line is if it can get into you, it's a danger because a certain percentage of people with COVID or any of these variants are going to die. Another much larger percentage is going to get sick. And of the people that, recover from it, how many people do they pass it on to?
Right.
It's just, even if the person that gets it doesn't necessarily die, what about the little old lady with the diabetes that's down at the local store where you buy your cigarettes, or the grocery store, or the restaurant at the next table over? These are people that are going to die. Look at Flat Earth Foker as a good example of what I consider anti-vaxxers, because he had absolutely no concern whatsoever for anyone around him. He'd spit infected phlegm out on the street. He would mock people that had, that were concerned about COVID, even when they actually were people that knew about it. He was planning a cross-Canada trip into people's homes, for Christ's sake. And then he died 2 days later. Not only was he in denial, he absolutely cared about nobody other than number one. He wasn't going to be inconvenienced by this or having to wear a mask or a seatbelt or anything else. He was just a contrarian. And I feel sorry for his family. I wish that they had done an intervention on him. But, Rob Skiba's the same way. He's out preaching no masks, and then he goes out and dies of it. These are the people that are causing problems in our society right now. And they're, it isn't a freedom issue. It isn't a HIPAA issue. HIPAA specifically excludes public health information, which means that if you are required to get vaccinated in order to go to work, your boss is entitled to ask you to show proof of your vaccination and can share that information with your supervisor. And that is not a HIPAA violation. And, these people that claim that it is never actually read HIPAA.
Okay, Bob, what about informed consent?
That's fine. All vaccines are with informed consent.
How can there be informed consent if there's any coercion?
What coercion?
Coercion.
You're more than welcome to refuse the vaccine if you wish.
Well, you're not, though, are you? You're saying, well, you can't do this, you can't do that unless you have it.
You're right. You can't.
That's coercion.
You can't. No, you can't be a doctor unless you go to medical school and go through the licensure process. You can't be an attorney unless you pass the bar.
You can't drive unless you wait.
We all have requirements to do things that we want to do. This is the requirement to do things that you want to do, i.e. participate in society.
It's different when it actually...
No, it's not. Absolutely.
It is when it involves your own body. You're giving up the right to your body.
Not. Absolutely not. You want to talk about Nuremberg? You want to talk about the Nuremberg and the Helsinki protocols? You want to try that little game too?
I don't really want to actually get into a horrible argument with you. I don't actually like the division part. I actually hate it, to be honest with you.
Great.
But I mean, it's
here it is.
Are you
required by law? Are you required by law to have a vaccination in order to do certain things, or do the people that actually own those things and control them require you to have a vaccination in order for you to use them? Yes or no?
I'm trying to think. You have to have it to be able to do certain things.
Great. So it is your free will to either get it and do those things or not get it and don't do them. You're more than welcome to homeschool your children.
There's people that are losing their jobs
because
they don't want to have it.
Well, that's their choice. They chose their beliefs over their job. And I have no sympathy. The range of my sympathy for any healthcare provider or public safety official or anybody else that loses their job because they don't care enough about other people to prevent the transmission of a vaccine preventable disease need to be in another field. I have 0 meters of sympathy for them. 0.
No, I think that's a bit harsh.
Yeah, well, so's death. And quite frankly, these are the people that are putting my 85-year-old mother at risk because their little conspiracy theory is more important to them than the science and public health. And they are willfully putting my 85-year-old mother at risk. So I have zero sympathy.
The problem is you don't know the long-term effects. You are asking people to take a chance.
All right, let's go ahead.
You don't know what's going to happen in 10 years to people.
All right, let's go ahead and hit this then. Now, there are 5 characteristics of science denial. Number 1 is cherry picking. Number 2 is belief in conspiracy theory. Number 3 is promotion of fake experts over real experts. Number 4 is illogical scientific reasoning. And number 5 is unrealistic expectations of science. Now, it all goes back to the tobacco script. Are you familiar with the tobacco script?
I am, where they said it was safe. Well, some people said it wasn't safe.
No, what the tobacco script is that doubt is your friend. Why don't we wait until all the evidence is in before we decide whether or not we want to put warnings on cigarettes? We have experts that disagree with your experts. We don't know what causes cancer. We believe in public health. So what we're going to do is we're going to come up with a medical research facility called the Tobacco Research Institute. And what we're going to do with the Tobacco Research Institute is we're going to try and find the cause of cancer. And we're going to look at environmental radiation. We're going to look at fungus. We're going to look at viruses. You know what we're not going to look at? Tobacco. All right? And it was so successful that they turned around and a lot of these science denial cults started picking up on the same thing. You will listen to exactly the same thing when you look at young earth creationists. You'll look exactly the same thing with the anti-vaxxers and the flat earthers. You just said it. We don't know what's going to happen in the future. It's not 100% safe and effective. Can you name a medicine or a food for that matter that is 100% safe and effective? Can you die from the ingestion of water? Of course you can.
It's different because...
No, it's not different at all. It's an excuse.
Usually you get these are tested for 10 years.
No. Is it fully certified and tested? The answer is yes. And when you throw enough money at something, you can get through it quickly.
But you
so
can't,
this is another excuse that you're doing to try and give people plausible deniability to not quit smoking or not take the vaccine. What do we know? Is it going to come out in 10 years? What is the complication rate for a vaccination? Do you even know any of this stuff?
Wow.
What is the current complication rate of vaccination?
The problem is, I'll go into what M2M said earlier about the reporting system.
What is the reporting system?
The reporting system is the only thing we've got.
And what does that say?
Any other information?
What's it say?
It's showing there's a lot of side effects.
Like what? Name
deaths. Blood clots, strokes.
Blood clots. What's the rate of blood clots in untreated COVID?
Well, I'd have to check. I don't know off the top of my head.
Would it surprise you to find out it's much higher than the rate of blood clots from vaccinations in only one of the types of vaccinations? So if 100 people with COVID get blood clots and one person out of 1 million gets a blood clot from the vaccination, where should we vaccinate under those numbers?
If that's the correct numbers, but the trouble is the reporting system, we don't know.
Sure we do.
We don't.
We know it exactly. Why don't we look at it right now? You want to look at it right now
because
together?
only a certain percentage actually report it, and we don't know. Things can be made up. We don't know. And that's the problem.
Okay, so if you don't know, do you know what COVID does?
So they say.
No, not so they say. What does COVID do?
M2M went down with COVID. He can tell us exactly what it does.
It depends on the person. For some people,
and what does it depend on the person for?
Well, some people, they hardly even know they've got it.
Okay, so they pass it on to other
very
people.
Severe.
So it's okay for those people to just pass it on to other people because they're okay. Is that what you're saying?
I'm not saying that.
Okay, what are you saying then?
What am I saying about what exactly?
I'm asking you specifically when it's okay to have COVID and pass it on. Is it all right if the person doesn't feel sick to go ahead and pass it on?
You try to do your best so it doesn't pass on. It's the same as if you
Okay, what would you do to not
you
pass
stay
it on?
What's that?
What would you do? What would you do to not pass it on if you didn't know you had it? Do you wear a mask every time you're outside?
You didn't know you had it, but can you prove that asymptomatic transmission is common?
Yes.
I just need to jump in real quick.
Last year they said it wasn't.
Well,
Hey, guys.
last year they may have been wrong. Now they know more, right? Go ahead, Aimee.
Sorry about that. Thank you. I just wanted to say from Gary IOW, we had a good comment. He said he suffers from blood clots, had 3 DVTs and 2 PEs in the past. I have both my vaccines and the booster, and I'm still sucking in air. So that's bollocks. Yeah. So there we go. So there's that.
If I could just add to that as well, actually, that's quite a good comment because it's relative to my ex-wife, mother of my children. Is for those of you who don't know, she's in ICU currently at the moment because of complications from a COVID infection. One of the reasons that she decided not to have the vaccine, and I do say one of the reasons, or maybe it was an excuse, I don't know, was the risk or the slight heightened risk of blood clots from the AstraZeneca vaccine. But the other influence was her current partner, who was an anti-vaxxer. I just wanted to add to that. So that was one of the reasons why she decided not to. But now, because of that decision, she's now in ICU on a ventilator. That's the result of that. I think when she comes out of hospital, she's going to clearly say, well, the risk, it wasn't worth me doing that, because she's had 2 blood clots and they were pretty easily treatable. She was treated. But on this occasion, she got COVID and she's nearly died. Thank God she's actually heading in the road to recovery. She's doing quite well at the moment.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
So where's your data that the vaccine is more dangerous than the disease itself?
Well, all we've got to go on at the moment is the reporting data that people are reporting, because that's all there is. In the UK, I believe people have to collaborate it with at least your NHS number, I believe. I think it has to be. I think there's some collaboration there with the UK version, but it's nowhere near perfect.
Does it need to be perfect?
But that's all we've got. That's the problem.
Does it need to be perfect?
We don't know. We don't know. That's
no. I want you to tell me yes or no. Does the data need to be perfect before we can look at it?
Well, ideally, but it doesn't have to be perfect. No.
Correct. It doesn't have to be. So simply because the data is not perfect does not mean that we should not look at what it tells us. What's it telling us? Does it tell us that the vaccine is safer? Or does it tell us that the vaccine is more dangerous, or that COVID is more dangerous? What does the data tell us?
I'd argue that I don't want to get you strikes here. I'd say the jab.
The jab what?
Is more dangerous.
Okay, then you're an idiot. All right, because the data does not say anything close to that. How many vaccine deaths have there been in the United States?
I'd have to check the VAR system.
No, you're from the UK, right?
Yeah.
You tell me how many vaccine deaths there have been in the UK.
I'd have to check the system. It's
okay,
been a while since I last checked
that,
it.
Why don't you know that right now?
Because I came on the last minute tonight. I didn't expect you to be coming on.
Are you PJ?
I am.
Great. Did you not know last week that you were coming to face me today?
I didn't know.
Did you not have to go get a headset? Did you not go get other things? Did you not know that you were coming to face me?
It wasn't 100
respect. Do you have that little respect for me that you didn't bother preparing to come?
I didn't know there wasn't tonight.
Yeah, there wasn't a firm thing for tonight because of our channel strike and stuff. We figured you guys were going to be getting together next week on our channel, right?
Right.
All right. Do you want to get together next week and have your crap together?
I don't really want to argue in a bad way with you.
All right.
But I mean, I don't mind debating. I haven't got anything against you. Yeah.
According to the World Health Organization, there are 146,937 deaths in the United Kingdom from COVID. How many vaccine deaths have been in the United Kingdom? Is it 200,000?
I'd have to check. It was quite a lot. But
Is
the
it
thing is,
200,000?
they say that their reports are only between 1% and 10% of the actual figure.
Okay, so let's go 10%, okay?
Yeah.
When you say they say that, who's saying that, PJ?
It's been said before with other reports. It's a general thing to say that only
We heard it on YouTube.
But
it's usually 10% for the more serious and 1% for the less serious.
But that's what I'm asking you. When you say they are saying the reports, who's reporting that though?
It's the actual people that I think it's the NHS or the MHRA.
Okay.
Have actually in the past with reports, they say that only between 1% to 10% they believe are reported, but for the more serious, it's usually 10%. For the less serious, it can be as low as 1%.
Great. What is the rate of vaccine injury per million doses?
Not very high reported at the moment.
It's 1. And of those, how many of those are actually related to the vaccine? Would it surprise you to find out that 4 out of 5 vaccine injuries are due to the needle rather than the actual vaccine? You got a brachial plexus injury or something? You want to challenge my data? Shall I pull up the vaccine injury fund right now and prove that to you?
If you want, yeah.
No. If I show you the data on the vaccine injuries and it matches what I just said, are you going to change your mind?
I don't know because I haven't seen the data.
What would change your mind on vaccines?
What would change my mind?
Yes.
Probably have to be quite some time waiting to see what happens to other people.
Okay, how many people have to die in the meantime before that happens?
The thing is,
what's an acceptable number of deaths?
But you're going on the assumption that they're actually effective.
They are effective.
Okay, I just need to jump in.
Do you have data that say that it isn't? Go ahead, Aimee.
Go ahead there, Aimee.
Sorry about that. Thanks. I got a sort of super chat from John Rapp. He says just a small amount for a big thing from just John Rapp. Thank you so much.
Nice one, John. Thanks, buddy.
Thank you.
All right. So you want to promote we want to wait and see tobacco strategy. Okay, great. When will enough data be in for you?
It could be a while because
how long? I want a number of months. When is enough?
When is enough?
Yes. Well, when is enough? How long?
A couple of years at least.
Okay. A couple is 2 years, 24 months. Is that going to be good enough for you?
Probably.
How many people are going to die of COVID in the meantime?
But would they have died anyway?
No.
But how do you know that?
Because the vaccine reduces your chance of catching COVID by 95%, and it also decreases the severity of your illness. All right. So, are the majority of people in ICU right now vaccinated or unvaccinated?
They say they're unvaccinated.
No, not they say. What does the data show?
The data shows they're unvaccinated. However, it's it shows they're not fully vaccinated is more the answer.
Okay, so
not fully vaccinated can be defined as you've just had the jab and it's been 14 days.
Stop calling it a jab. It's called a vaccination. All right. Don't use the word jab. Use the correct word. It's called a vaccination.
They redefined what vaccine actually was defined as. So
no, they didn't.
The CDC did.
No, they didn't. Now, the bottom line is this. The vast majority of people currently hospitalized for COVID are unvaccinated. A very tiny percent of those are actually vaccinated. When you get vaccinated, you can still get COVID. But your chances of getting it are 1 in 20 versus 20 in 20. Okay. Now,
I've seen this challenged.
I don't care if you've seen it challenged. That's what the data shows. You can't challenge the data.
I've seen people say the data's nonsense.
Well,
that's for more than one reason.
Do you want to deal with somebody and listen to people that are actually trained in this, or do you want to see a YouTube video that agrees with your silly beliefs?
But it's some of the YouTube has banned most of them, but some of the videos are qualified doctors as well.
Yeah, we have idiots in our profession too. M2M, you've got a hand raised.
Yeah, just to back up, you're saying that it reduces the symptoms. I've said this story before. This is before my ex-wife got sick as well. I contracted COVID. In the meantime, I have a problem with my heart. My heart function is reduced. I take medication for that. Going back about a year and a half ago, my medication was reduced, but sadly, the reduction of the medication probably over time caused my heart function to reduce significantly. And when I contracted COVID, they think it had that kind of triggered things because I was getting breathless and all the rest of it. So, kind of long story short, I went to went to the hospital, got an appointment as an outpatient with a consultant. And when they reviewed my heart and the DCGs and echo and all the rest of it as well, she asked me, "Are you vaccinated?" Because I was COVID positive at the time. And I said yes. And her response was unequivocally, "Well, it's just as well then." And I said, "Why?" And she said, "Well, you could have been very seriously ill or worse."
Yeah,
that's from a consultant.
What I have up on the screen right now is the current data from the CDC here in the United States. The blue is the rate in unvaccinated these are of hospitalized patients. The rate in blue is unvaccinated, and in green is vaccinated. What does that data tell you, PJ?
Well, that data shows you that more unvaccinated people are in ICU.
Okay, what does that tell you about public health and demographics and
but that's if you agree with the data that's there.
You don't have a choice to agree with it, all right? It's not up. It doesn't require your approval. This is the data.
Stats can be presented in numerous ways. They can be fiddled.
Okay, why would they be fiddled? For what reason? To what end game?
Because they want people to have the jab. So they want to present that.
Of course they want people to have the jab. Why do you think they want people to have the jab? And stop calling it the jab.
Sorry.
You call it a jab again.
I call it that because I'm worried
You're going to call it vaccination
striked.
Because that's what it's called. Now, why do you think they want people to get vaccinated?
They will claim it's because they want to help people, but I think there's more to it than that. I think there's more to it than that.
What? What more?
What more?
Yeah, what more? You think there's more to it. So what is it?
If you want me to go into a long conspiracy, but it's...
Yeah,
it's
well,
not,
you're welcome to go
nice.
into a long conspiracy if you have actual evidence and data to back it up. Do you know the difference between a conspiracy and a conspiracy theory? A conspiracy actually has data to back it up and gets exposed. A conspiracy theory is a belief in a conspiracy even after there's data like this to completely
hold on, sorry, I've got somebody at my door. Hold on.
Yeah, of course you do.
Bear with me, sorry, mate.
I'm done with him. Now, do any thinking people actually have a question about any of this stuff?
To be honest with you, Bob, you may be done with him, but no, you're not done with him. You have to keep pushing him to the whole reason why he's here. He's not here to be educated by you. He's here for you to expose, and that's exactly what you're doing. You know, with this your current line of inquiry is pushing him to expose his conspiratorial nature.
I've already done that because he doesn't have anything that will change his beliefs.
We're not trying to change his beliefs. You can't do that.
But the point is, the thing that you have to ask a conspiratorial thinker is, what will change your beliefs? What evidence could I present you right now that would change your beliefs? And they won't have any. It's like trying to convince a flat earther. If they refuse to accept and respect evidence, you're not going to change their mind. But I think the people that are listening to this are getting, have already made up their own mind. I came here prepared, and I came here with data. He didn't even bother doing any research beyond YouTube videos. He can't quote me the vaccine complication rate in his own country. He can't quote me he can't even estimate the number of people that have died of COVID. He is blissfully ignorant on this, and yet he has opinions for it. And that's the problem that you run into. Now, the only reason that I'm irritated is that he disrespected me tonight by not coming prepared. He should have been ready. And that bothers me a bit.
I thought it was cancelled because of the strike.
The last I heard was from Dick, who told me at midweek that he had gotten his headset, and we were looking at Friday or Saturday. So I checked last night and I checked today, and here he is today.
And I even said, "Is it me on Saturday?" And they said, "No, it's something else." That's why I wasn't ready.
Yeah, to be fair, Bob, we weren't sure whether even tonight was going to go ahead because the Shills channel obviously has had a community guidelines strike.
Gotcha.
So we weren't sure what was going to actually happen. So it kind of was a little bit last minute, to be fair. But I
look on the bright side. They don't take channels down for doxing people, and we're going to find out whether or not they take it down for copyright infringement.
Yeah,
because two of them went out today.
I kind of would like to see this discussion done on another day, perhaps when PJ is a little bit more prepared.
I'm good with that.
If PJ is happy with that.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. I'll prepare myself better.
And
I will say thank you to everybody, because I don't want to argue with you in a nasty way. I don't like that. Yeah.
Well, we'll have a good discussion next week, PJ. You come and get some data, and here's some specific things that I'm going to hit you on. I'm going to give you a warning. I'm going to want to know the rate of COVID per 100,000 in the United Kingdom. And I want to know the vaccination rate. I want to know the rate of complications from the COVID vaccine versus the rate of complications of COVID. All variants.
Okay.
And I want you to be able to tell me what data we have on social distancing and masking. And I want you to be familiar with the 1918 to 1920 pandemic of influenza. Okay?
Well, it's okay.
Because I can pull that crap right off the top of my head. And if you need to research it, I've got a number of videos on my channel that you can research that bring out all of the data that you will need to answer my questions.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Have a good night.
Good night, mate.
Thank you, PJ.
Thank you, PJ, for coming by.
Go ahead, M2M.
I kind of clicked it by accident anyway, but
twice.
Yeah, sorry. I'm using my phone here. Sorry about that. I'm concerned about. I'm pretty sure that the reporting system they have here for vaccination complications is the same anywhere else. It can't be verified. I'm not aware that you have to provide your national insurance number and all the rest of it. I could be wrong about that, but here's the thing: unless all those reports are going to be checked and verified, which I highly doubt, then that's not reliable data. It just.
Do you see what I have right there?
I can barely see it, but yeah, I can see the gist of it.
This is a vaccine injury attorney here in the United States. Let me explain to you how the vaccine injury court works here. All right. If you get a tetanus shot and Guillain-Barré is on the table of possible complications for a tetanus shot, and you come down with a case of Guillain-Barré and it's within a reasonable period of time in proximity to the vaccine is assumed to be guilty and you are compensated. You do not have to pay your attorney, whether you win or lose. Your attorney is paid for by the court, and they are paid a set fee. So the money that you win, which comes from an insurance policy paid for by the vaccine companies, goes to you. So if you have a qualifying condition in proximity to getting a vaccine, you win. The vaccine is presumed to be guilty until proven it is not guilty. Now, these are cases for vaccine injury, okay? Now, there's a couple of things that I want to go ahead and point out to you. Here are the dates, okay? And as you see, they go right along, and they go back several years. There's over 200 cases right here. Here are the monetary damages that were awarded by the Vaccine Injury Court. And here's what it was for. Do you know what SIR? Syndrome right here. These are all shoulder injuries. All shoulder injuries. Get something else right there from a flu shot. Shoulder injuries, 2 cases of Guillain-Barré, shoulder injuries, shoulder injuries, shoulder injuries, shoulder injuries. 4 out of 5 cases of compensation from the Vaccine Injury Court are due to shoulder injuries, which is what this is, all of it. You know what you don't see here? Autism. You see Guillain-Barré once in a while because that's a known complication of vaccinations. Guillain-Barré syndrome is associated with vaccines for influenza. The rate of Guillain-Barré syndrome is literally 1 in 5 million doses of vaccination. Now, what is the reduction in 5 million vaccinated people with flu? How many deaths are you going to reduce with that? Hundreds, if not thousands, for 1 case of Guillain-Barré. Now, if you were the one with the Guillain-Barré, it sucks to be you, but it sucks a lot more for 10,000 people to be dead. All right? Not to mention the fact that people with influenza tend to pass it on to other people with influenza. It's a droplet infection. It gets on surfaces, and you get tremendous transmission of that. But this is the data. You can't argue with the data. And this is with somebody that has a vested interest in wringing out every single claim that she can get a hold of. She's a very nice lady. All right? Very nice lady. I've talked to her because I've used this data before. But look at all these SIRVA, shoulder injuries. That's all it is.
Is that's the shoulder injury as a result of the actual needle itself rather than what's in the vaccine, right?
You betcha. Now, if you don't believe it, right there, you see where it says vaccine injuries, and here it is. You see right there, shoulder injury, SIRVA. Okay? Brachial neuritis. That means putting a needle into the brachial plexus in the arm. It happens. I swear to God, when I got my first COVID vaccine, that nurse got her hip behind it and went for bone marrow. But that was the only thing that I had. But these are the complications right here. See? Vaccine injuries. Okay? Here's the COVID-19 vaccine information from a vaccine injury lawyer. Okay? And there's a very nice page on it. How effective is it? Pfizer, 95% effective. Moderna, 94. Johnson & Johnson, 72. All right? This is on a vaccine injury lawyer's page. Do you think she really wants to fudge those numbers upward? No, she's reporting accurate numbers. And if any of you have any questions about this, vaccinelaw.com. Go look at it yourself. And again, the hospitalization rate. I don't mean to be a pain in the ass with this. I really don't. But people's lives are at stake. Flat Earth is a harmless diversion that prompts us to learn more about our environment and the universe and the earth we live on. 5 years ago, if you had asked me to provide evidence conclusively showing that it was the earth rotating and not the sky, I couldn't have done it, even though I knew the earth was what was rotating, not the sky. Now I can. I can point out 5 different ways of doing that and ways that you can do it yourself. But vaccine hesitancy is a major problem. And the problem that you run into with vaccine hesitancy is that, 1 or 2% of the population are the hardcore anti-vaxxers. And then you get another 25 or 30% that are vaccine hesitant because A, they don't know enough about it, or they don't understand what they've learned about it, or they're just unconvinced. All right. We can salvage those people. We can't say that 1 or 2% that are hardcore, because this is a belief system that is tied to their identity. All right. But the vaccine hesitant, the vast majority of them, we can help. Find out what their question is. Okay, address the information. That's called content rebuttal. But more importantly, look at, if you're not a subject matter expert on it, don't try and go content rebuttal on them. Ask them, approach them with a technique rebuttal. And that is, okay, well, where did you get this data from? Well, it's common knowledge. Well, I didn't know it. Where did you find out about it? Let's look at your sources real quick. Well, if they can't name a source, well, let's go to the CDC page. We'll see what the current data is. We'll look at it together. I understand why you feel that way, but maybe we can help you a little bit. Maybe we can get together and learn a little bit more about this together. That's the way you approach a vaccine hesitant person, because, the studies that you see on them, they're not stupid people. All right. The problem is they're very good at what they do, but immunology and public health is not what they do. And, many times they're a little bit more informed than the average person. I think the person that is relatively uninformed trusts the healthcare providers that are trained to do this and takes them at their word. When you start becoming more and more informed, lots of times you start thinking that, your Google search somehow equals my medical degree. And, the fact that you read about this, during intermission at the between soccer games, somehow counters 30 years experience in the field. I don't know, but
it's arrogance supreme to even think that way, though, isn't it?
Well, what I always say, the thing that I have is I think that everybody should question things. But if you want to question something, the other shoe, so to say, is listening to the answer. Okay, well, why do I think that way? Well, let me tell you why I think that way. Here, let's pull it up together. That's the way you deal with a patient that's got questions about something. First they have to trust you and your experience and your judgment. And then you have to spend a couple extra minutes with them and teach them, well, how do you evaluate your blood sugar levels? All right. That's half the battle in diabetes, is getting the patient on board so that they understand what your goals are and how you hope to achieve them and what they can do to help you. All right. With vaccine hesitancy, sometimes you can apply the same approach, but every now and then you're going to run into people that are just recalcitrant. I saw this YouTube video, and that YouTube video had a doctor on it, and that doctor was concerned about demon seed too, but hey, and they want me to take ivermectin, and they think COVID's not real. Okay, well, we have idiots in our field too. All right, every field has got the ones that are just going, but the medical board weans a few of them out, but sometimes they merrily go on. I don't know. I've had my moment. This is my boomer rant of the night, because I'm really sick and tired of seeing dead people.
Yes. And it's very frustrating to see that. And as an autism parent, conventional, I'll call them that, it's just easier than trying to differentiate between the two. But the conventional anti-vaxxers are very frustrating because not only are they, putting down people with autism, because apparently autism is worse than death to them because they don't want the vaccine, but, because it may cause autism, but, they're perfectly fine without taking the vaccine to help, fight against a disease. So to me, this is what it looks like, is that they're othering. When they do that, they, like autism is just this awful thing and you should be ashamed of it if you have it. That's the impression I get when they do this. So then not only are they killing people too, they're also hurting families. They're hurting people who have children who do have autism, and they make them feel like crap. And then they make the parents who vaccinated their children, they try to make them feel terrible for the decisions they made too. No, I'm not going to be ashamed of of vaccinating my son.
Nor should you.
Exactly. I did the right thing because I followed my doctor's advice, because like you said, I don't know anything about medicine. So I went to the person who I thought should know best, which was my son's doctor, so. And I asked questions.
The job of a physician is to advise you on your health and give you expert advice. All right.
Yes.
It's always up to you if you choose to accept that.
Correct.
Now, it's a little bit different when it comes to public health mandates that are enacted by law. And they don't need to enact a law for every specific. Well, you have to wear a mask when you go to this store, and here's Public Act such and such that says that. No, what the law is it gives the public health department the authority to put out mandates. And they can put out mandates on anything that they want. If you don't like it, you can take it to court. But in the meantime, it's a mandate. And if you want to be part of a society, you have obligations to that society. So it's not subject to your approval or consent or leave.
Right. Right. As a part of society, we have to do what we can, to help out, because that's part of what society is. We're all supposed to be working together. And when we have an issue, we come up against something like this, we should be all Matt and I, as soon as I was able to, I got vaccinated. I am fully vaccinated. I get my booster on Tuesday. As soon as it was approved for Matt's age, we did the same thing. And yes, I did. I asked the doctors, should we do this for Matt? Yep. All right, there we go. Appointments made. That was that. We did it because that's what you're supposed to do to help fight this stuff so that we don't lose people. I lost a family member last month because of this disease. I don't want to see other people go through that as much. So the best way to minimize that was to help out society by getting vaccinated.
If they want this done, if they want COVID over, the first thing that they ought to do is be in line down there to do their part to end it. Yes. But instead, they wear their ignorance like a badge. And, and that is just ridiculous. I'm going to pull something up here just to double check.
Yes, and while you're doing that, it's this strange thing that I've come across too, where people seem to think that it's like a fad almost. It's in to be ignorant and stupid, and being willfully ignorant, no less, is what I call it, because they don't want to learn. They refuse to learn, so it's willful on their part.
All right, so here's cases per million people. This is just in the state of Michigan. Can you guys see this?
Wow.
Thursday and Friday, daily COVID-19 deaths, 254. Thursday and Friday, confirmed daily COVID cases, 12,649. 25,000 people out of a population of 10 million have died of COVID.
Wow.
And more than 1 in 10 have had COVID here. In my own family, my daughters both had COVID. All right. My son didn't. All three of my daughters had COVID. My son did not. My wife and I did not, and our parents did not. Now, my daughters got the COVID before the vaccine was available, and we vaccinated my son. Well, he got vaccinated himself. He's, 19 years old now. But my wife and I went down there and we made sure that our parents were vaccinated. And, we have people that we're close to that are not vaccinated and they got COVID too. We haven't lost any, but this is pretty significant stuff.
Yeah.
All right. This is Grand Rapids right over here. Detroit's down here. Okay, this is Lansing up in here. This is Saginaw and Flint and those areas.
Okay.
That's the Keweenaw Peninsula up there. This is Iron Mountain. And in areas like that. Unfortunately, this map would also look very much like the last election. And there's a problem with that.
Yep.
Because, to be honest with you, there is a direct correlation between that, because they were taught and told that COVID wasn't real and masks don't work and natural immunity is the way to go. And why listen to doctors when you can go down to the farm at Fleet and get some ivermectin for your horse? Michigan first dose tracker, 62%. CMU right now is running over 80%. And that's just for the students. COVID vaccine coverage. Detroit. Marquette. Flint. This is Lansing right in here. I almost hesitant. I'm quite hesitant to put up the results of the last election because I think you're going to be rather shocked with it.
Do it.
Yeah, as of having watched the last election and everything beyond, I honestly wouldn't be surprised because Maine looks a lot like that too.
When was the last election? It was 2018? No, 2020, right?
2020, yep. And Maine was a lot. It's red in the inland northern areas, and then the southern and coastal regions of Maine are the same way. It's more blue. So, our cases are like that, a lot like that too. So
Detroit, Grand Rapids, Flint, Saginaw right in here, Keweenaw, that's Marquette right there. Let's go ahead and just have a look at that.
Excuse my ignorance, but is red Republican, blue Democrat? Is that right? Have I got that? Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yes.
Correct. But look at that map and compare it to that one. The only weird thing that I'm seeing up here is in Marquette. But that's the only non-correlation.
Right.
People need to stop confusing politics with science. That's the number right there that they need to look at. Right there. Vaccinated hospitalized cases versus non-vaccinated. I had a friend of mine that her father had cancer and was going in for surgery on it and had the IVs in, and they came down and canceled the surgery because they no longer had any beds in the ICU due to COVID patients. So his surgery was delayed for 2 months because somebody couldn't go out and get their vaccination.
Yep.
And was part of this blue wave here. That's the wrong blue wave that's the blue wave we don't need.
Yep. Well, yes, and that's it right there. Maine is the same way. We had to request help because our hospitals are filling up because COVID cases are spiking like crazy where our hospital beds are filling up. We have a population of about 1.3 million. And so obviously we don't have very many beds normally.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's not a good thing. It's so we had to call in help. So we could open up.
Florida had to request 300 ventilators. I wonder why. Here's something, you see with the kids, multi-system inflammatory syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
How many deaths you had in kids? 52 nationwide from this thing, which is a vaccine complication. They said, wonder how many deaths they had from COVID. I don't even, that's why I didn't go into pediatrics. I don't even want to look at that statistic.
I know.
Why don't you go ahead and have a look, figure it out.
Yep. Mark Beiser said cranking back up to over 1,500 deaths a day in the U.S. And in Maine, we've had 136,400 COVID cases. So we're over the 10% mark. Deaths are 1,441 total. So, and I like too how they like to compare this to the flu. It's just a flu. No, we usually lose about 200 to 300 people to the flu in Maine every year. 300 might be high. Since COVID, we've lost 1,441 people. I think there's a slight difference there.
Yep.
We have, it's bad. I just don't
Look
understand.
at this right here. This is an interesting statistic. Here is number of confirmed cases in the United Kingdom. And here's the number of deaths at the same time in the United Kingdom.
Yep.
Okay. Look at the number of confirmed cases here versus the number of deaths. I wonder if that has anything to do with the seriousness of the illness. And I wonder if it has anything to do with the vaccination rate.
Exactly.
Not as many people confirmed, more people die. More people confirmed, fewer people die. Germany. Can't talk about the UK without talking about Germany. You got to get that balance in.
Yes.
This is the data.
And it's readily
What's this
available.
from? Oh. Where is this from? Cornell University, my grandfather's alma mater.
Oh, okay.
97% of their on-campus population is vaccinated, and their rate of COVID positivity by rate 7.39. CMU, by the way, is about 3.7. Okay. Wonder what kind of testing they have.
And is that another university that's had attendance compulsory? You must be vaccinated or tested.
My alma mater, MSU, just said they're not giving people a choice of testing. They're saying you need to be vaccinated. Period. End of sentence. UM, I think, is the same way right now. University of Michigan. It's my father's alma mater, so we've got my family. My family college is here. Apparently, QE may think that we went to Wiki, but we actually went to real schools. Visitors are not allowed to access campus facilities without prior approval. Interesting. Wonder if my son's going to make it to the UK this year. Supposed to go in May.
Oh.
I'm kind of pissed myself because, when this first came out, I lost a great opportunity. I had an opportunity to go to the battle site as an American physician with a group of veterans of the Battle of the Bulge.
Oh my gosh.
To tour the battlefield site. And they wanted me and they wanted my wife, who's an RN, to go with them, just so they knew they had an American doctor with them. Not that they didn't trust them, but it's really nice to have an American doctor with them. But that was no bueno. Didn't get to go.
No.
Because of the pandemic, right?
Yep. Shut down the borders.
Yep.
Right.
But in any event, these are just some things.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Testing daily checks.
I do want to say to pjcnet that I do hope that he prepares with his statistical data from the UK, because I'm going to be doing the same. I'd like to be on the panel, if I may. I'll stay muted for the whole point. However, if he declares something that's incorrect, I'm going to see it, and I will bring it up at the end. So, PG, I hope you are prepared. If you need an extra bit of time to do it, you can arrange it for another week, even on top of that, if bonds are agreeable. But please, PJ, come prepared. Have your data correct, because I'll check on it.
I will make a promise to him, though. All right, I will not rip him a new one if it looks like he actually prepared.
Okay.
All right, if he did his best.
Excellent.
I don't think people are stupid for being vaccine hesitant. I truly don't. I think that they are somewhat uninformed, and I think that unfortunately their thought process when it comes to how vaccines work and why they are beneficial is sometimes in error, and I'm more than happy to help them with that. Well,
I think that's the position that my wife and her partner within. They were never hardcore anti-vaxxers. But as I said to you last week, I don't blame either of them, because I really think they are victims of misinformation, and sadly, social media plays a huge part in that, because, as I've said over and over and over again, you could go on social media and you could say absolutely anything you want to, and you're going to get a group of people that are going to believe you. And I've spent a lot of time on social media because I'm unemployed, looking at these, and I see it time and time and time again. People will literally go on, make up a profile, a totally false profile that's completely somebody else, say a whole load of absolute nonsense, and you get people that just suck it all in. And I strongly think that what happened is, with the pandemic, is that the hardcore anti-vaxxers have taken complete advantage of this, and they've ran with it hard.
Yes.
And sadly, they've got a grip of some people, and now you have this result, as Bob has pointed out, is this vaccine hesitancy going towards flat refusal. And I've got a situation where my current partner, because his possible future wife is in ICU, has said, he's declared to me he's changed his mind. But as I said last week, it's too late. I mean, do we need to wait until somebody is in ICU and dying, or possibly may die, to make a decision to get vaccinated? It doesn't have to be that way. No, it doesn't. And as Aimee says over and over and over again, we keep saying, if you're unsure and you're really not certain, what better person to trust than your own GP, your own doctor, your own physician, your own consultant? Go and speak to them, see what they say.
That's the biggest problem that you run into with conspiracy theorists, though, and that is that they had something that happened to them that shattered their trust in people that they used to trust. And as a result of that, they no longer trust science, they no longer trust the experts, they no longer trust other people. And they gravitate to people that validate their misbeliefs and their conspiracies. And that's why, that's why you didn't hear about the Flat Earth Society in the 50s, because we didn't have YouTube.
Right.
This came out in 2014 because somebody somebody figured out they could make some money with it.
Yep. That's
You know.
exactly it. And what happens too a lot of the times is when they find these people like on YouTube and things like that, it confirms their bias.
Yep, exactly.
Right.
Confirmational bias. And prior to YouTube, or prior to Flat Earth, there was young Earth creationism and scientific, scientific creation and intelligent design. And those were passed out, through other social groups that shared a lot of things in common. Look fish.
Hey, one thing I noticed with all the data that you presented is it's very similar to the results that a couple of universities got when they did mask efficacy tests with the flu, where they would have dorms volunteer to be infected, and one floor would wear a bandana as a mask, another as a T-shirt, another wearing N95. A lot of these curves here are very similar to those results.
Yeah. Yep. I'll tell you something. One of the things that I constantly ask is, we had some restaurants and stuff that were massively fined because they weren't enforcing mask mandates and social distancing and things like that. And they got massively fined, and they went whining on YouTube and on Facebook, and they went to the press. Woe is us. I'm going to continue to cut hair. I don't care if they shut me down. I'm going to still cut hair or barbecue pork. I have to just wonder, what other public health measures do they feel are optional? Do they wash their hands? Do they clean the dishes?
Right. Good point.
Do they check the temperature in their refrigerators and freezers? I won't eat at these places anymore. I just won't. I will not support places that violated the mask law.
Right, exactly.
I'll buy it off of Amazon before I'll buy it. I'll buy a haircut off of Amazon before I'll go down and have this guy cut my hair.
Yeah, exactly. Ugly German Truths had a comment in the chat. He said, according to the CDC, by November 12th, there were 236 COVID deaths in the U.S. under 4 years old and 535 deaths between 5 and 18. Wow.
Yeah.
So there are kids that are babies too, under 4, are
it's
dying.
hitting younger people now. The mechanism of injury in the Spanish flu was a little different and targeted young people with very robust immune systems.
Mm-hmm.
It was an immune-mediated death. You're seeing some of that now, but we're starting to see younger people. According to my friends that are manning the ICUs in Lansing, you're starting to see younger people in that are sicker, and again, the vast majority of them are unvaccinated. This is unnecessary waste of resources.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
We listen to crap, it's a violation of the Nuremberg Protocol. Well, no, it's not. Have you ever read the Nuremberg Protocol? Well, if these people have not read the Nuremberg Protocol or the Helsinki Accords any more than they've read the Antarctic Treaty, and still maintain that somehow you're not allowed to travel south of 60 degrees. It doesn't say that at all. It says that it doesn't take effect until it's 60 degrees. It covers everything 60 degrees and below.
Right. It only covers it. It doesn't say you're not allowed to go there.
Yeah.
I've seen that on streams many times when people are having a debate, and literally you bring up the Antarctic Treaty, and you read it verbatim. But
they'll just double down.
You'll double say, "Oh no, you're not allowed to go there. It's been protected." What? We've just read it. It doesn't say anywhere that you're not allowed to go there. It doesn't.
Correct.
Right.
But they'll still double down. I just find that.
I love people that don't own a sextant and can't use one telling me how a sextant works. Yeah, right. Oh, well, here's a set of coordinates, a time, and a date. What's my location within 10 nautical miles? I'll tell you what, do it within 20. All right? They wouldn't have the first freaking clue.
No.
I could let them use globe data, and they still wouldn't be able to do it because they have no idea what they're talking about. Mitchell, Brian, Quantum Eraser, Nathan, they have no clue. 10th Man. These guys have absolutely no clue what they're talking about. And people And equally clueless people believe them. So,
hey, I offered to give my sextant to any takers, any flat earth takers, and got banned and blocked. So,
yep.
There you go.
You offered them the sextant and they wouldn't take it. God,
Yeah.
Jesus.
They didn't realize that word had an ending that they weren't anticipating. Well, guys, my blood pressure's up enough right now. I think I probably best bid you adieu. How long have we been doing this?
Almost 2 hours, I think. Yeah.
All right. So we've got about an hour since I came back after giving up fiddling with my audio equipment.
Yeah.
My audio equipment works just fine for me. I think it had something to do with the fact that we were on a different system and it was causing an issue. There must have been a conflict of some sort. And I didn't want to sort it out live.
Exactly. Yeah. All right. So thank you.
But with
so
your
much.
permission, I'm going to go ahead and publish my rant at a time to be announced.
Yeah.
Sure. Absolutely. That would be
wonderful. I want
wonderful.
to see whether or not you get demonetized first, though.
You'd know soon.
Yeah, exactly. We'll know if I can't do anything with my channel anymore.
Yeah, but speaking truth should never be a funding issue.
That's right.
No.
I was testifying as an expert once in a DUI case, and I asked, okay, well, that's your breathalyzer. What was the blood alcohol level? Well, we didn't get one. Well, the law says blood alcohol, so you did draw one, right? He says, do you realize the nearest hospital was 25 miles away? I almost went to jail for the next comment I made, and I said, do you realize that justice is not dependent on your convenience, officer? And the judge damn near threw me in jail.
I like it.
Cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But
hey,
you always got to have that one guy in the back of the room that asks the question that everybody's thinking, but doesn't have the social filter to hold back on it. Well, hey, hi, that's me.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, but I think that's one of the reasons that we're debunkers and we're out here. We're dealing with this crap, and the vast majority of people said, "Oh God, those guys are just idiots. I'm not going to bother with them." Well, you have to bother with them, because if you don't bother with them and you let them go unopposed, they're going to try and convince people that don't know better. Yeah. And that's our mission in life.
Exactly. I agree.
Bob, before you go, I'd like to talk to you sometime about a future project along kind of similar lines that I don't know you might be open to, but we can sort of talk about it.
Collaborations.
Yeah.
I love working with other people because then you can sit down and you bounce off different ideas and different techniques of presenting it.
Exactly.
Right. And it works great.
Right.
You guys send it to Dick and he'll send it to me, or send me a DM and.
I'll do.
Discord.
Yeah.
Just get a hold of me.
Yeah.
Perfect.
All right. Night, guys. Thank you very much for having me, and I do appreciate the opportunity to come and have a chat with you guys. And I'll see you back in a week or two when this gentleman's ready. Dick, keep in touch with me.
Yeah. I'll send you a couple of messages here coming up midweek.
Gotcha.
Cool, buddy.
Dios.
Thanks a lot.
Take care.
Appreciate it, Bob. Thank you very much.
Thank you. That was interesting. That was really So why don't we get right around the room? That was such a great evening. So let's get started right around the room. First, I'm going to start with Mifit69 to see if she's still with us and if she had any great notes.
I knew you were going to do this, and my notes start off with talking about flirt in car videos.
Yeah.
And why they do it. Then I've got tech stuff, and then I'm just like, it's just the pen runs down the page. So I think I fell asleep after the tech shit started happening. So, because I have no idea what the fuck anyone's talking about when they start talking about technical stuff. So sorry about that, guys. There was nothing else to critique, was there? Okay, well there you go. Sorry. No, that was fun. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Ripet. And next up, we have Mallory. What did you think of this evening?
It's an interesting topic, and to be honest, I'm still confused on the matter. So I just stay quiet and listen to both sides, honestly. So it's
Right.
It's interesting though. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you. And thank you for coming. I'm so excited you were here.
Yeah.
Thank you. And next up, we have DKG Custom. DKG, what did you think of this evening? Uh-oh.
He's asleep.
Wake up!
Yes. Yeah.
Take the mic out of your ass.
You know what? I find it quite funny that you have people like Pajama Pants, who says that, you know, he's out there, very outspoken in Discord and whatever. You know, the vaccine is all like it's all a lie, it's all fake. The vaccine doesn't work, and there's more people dying because of the vaccine than there are. And they go, well, where's the facts? Well, I don't have them with me right now. The bird came along and stole my homework.
My dog ate my facts.
My dog ate my facts. Exactly. It's like people like that. If they are out making these claims, they should be on the fucking button. As far as these sort of things are concerned, it's not like I remember watching a video a couple of weeks ago, but and I can't remember the link, but that's where I got my facts from, and I didn't bother to write it down, and I can't remember. No, if you're out there making these fucking claims, you be on the fucking ball. Simple as that. And no wonder Bob got pissed off with him, because he just didn't have details, and you know he's going to come back with. Even less details next time, I imagine, or just some of them just made up shit, or just make a claim that all statistics can just be made up. Yeah, well, show us your statistics that are made up. Show us something, but it won't happen. Anyway, that's my thought on the idea. Can I go back to sleep now?
Yes.
Nope.
No.
I'm just gonna keep poking each time you try to fall asleep. Poke, DKG, wake up.
Is that what it was? I had a weird dream.
Oh dear. And if they don't bring their information, we're gonna give them the grub muffin right upside the head, aren't
Yeah,
To
exactly.
be fair, a certain dick didn't quite schedule the scheduling correctly.
That's actually not true. That's not true if you look at the messages, but we'll talk about that off air. It doesn't have to be here.
So I find the whole scheduling thing that's just an excuse. If they are out there saying it's all bollocks, they should be on the ball and have all the data ready at hand at a moment's notice, because they sure fucking do in the Discord when somebody talks about it. Anyway, that's my thought.
Thank you.
I'm going back for the poke now.
Oh, okay. I like that poke, apparently. And next up, we have Loki Fish Mars. Loki Fish, what did you think of the evening?
Let's see. As many of the doctor's educational videos I've watched this week, I'm 2 videos away from my degree. Thank you very much, Dr. Bob, for coming on.
Thank you. And next up, we have M2M. M2M, Matt, what did you think of this evening?
Left the best till last, as always. Yeah, I hope when we talk about this thing, my really objective and my hope really is something good comes out of it. I'm probably not as aggressive as DKG. He's got his style, I've got my style. We're slightly different, but we're essentially on the same side. But my hope is something good comes out of it, because as Dr. Bob were talking about, was that you can't, it's the same with flat Earth. You can't persuade the hardcore people one way or the other. I don't know PJC enough to know what his real true thoughts are about COVID and the vaccines and all the rest of it. I've kind of been thinking quite a lot about everything that's been going on, and my experiences and stuff like that. And what I'm thinking of doing is actually putting my channel or the content that's on it at the moment, putting that aside for the time being. And what I want to try and do is find a way to reach to people that are hesitant about the vaccine, as Dr. Bob talked about. It's those people, because I just don't want people to go through the same sort of experiences that I've gone through, and many thousands of other people that have gone through it as well, that are losing loved ones or are very seriously ill in hospital or whatever it might be. So I probably dedicate my time doing that over I don't know, however long it goes for. We'll see how it goes. We're as the Shills, we're planning on a project. We won't give away too much just at the moment, because we need to get the final details through that's going to follow similar lines. We need to talk about some things, and obviously the community guidelines strike against the Shills channel has had an impact on that for sure. So we need to obviously figure through those sort of things out. I've got some ideas, so hopefully we can solve them. But going forward, that's kind of what I'm thinking I might be doing. I don't think space exploration, the history of it, is really that important at the moment. I don't quite know what to do with the channel at the moment. I'll figure something out. Maybe, I don't know, I could produce a video maybe even just once a month or something. I don't know. But we'll figure something out anyway. But, because of my experiences, I think going forward, I think, this kind of stuff's a bit more important. So, that's just really all I want to say, really. So thank you very much. Thanks.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. PJCnet, are you still there? I don't think so. Is he, Dick?
I don't think so.
Okay, no, I don't think so.
I'm pretty
either.
sure no. Yeah.
No, I'm going to say no. So I'm going to go on. Next up is you, Dick Dawson. What did you think of this evening?
The bottom line here is, seriously, get over the hesitation. If you're going to play what if all your life, well, what if I get in my car, drive down the highway, and I hit the brakes and one of my brake lines goes pop and my brakes are really weak? Well, that's not going to keep me hiding in the house. I still have to go to the damn grocery store. There's always what ifs, but they have to be within the realm of what's actually going on in life, what's real, what's true, not just, oh, well, I'm unsure. And when you look at what's truly going on and look at the numbers, this is not a what if situation. Please get your appointment, go to a clinic, get the vaccination. It doesn't hurt. You'll be fine, and you'll be fine a lot longer. Just do it.
Exactly. What I'm going to say, thank you very much. I want to first of all thank everybody in the chat for coming. Thank you so much. This has been such a strange weekend. We've had to switch around everything so much. So, but I want to thank everyone for coming. I want to thank everyone in the panel for coming as well. This was really good. It was a good evening. Thank you very much. I do want to say, to add to what everybody's been saying, we need to step up to the plate. We need to get this. We need to really help out and minimize the losses that we can. So, step up. I'll say CYP, contact your physician. I've always said that before. If you have any questions, consult your physician, ask them the questions. They'll be able to help you out. That's not giving medical advice. That's actually telling you a good thing to do. And if you don't, you get the grub muffin. So there we go.
You get the grub hub.
That's right.
The grub hub, yeah.
Muffin.
The mom tomorrow for that.
Thank you. So thank you once again, everyone. And I hope you all have a great whatever time of day it is for you. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
Fuck
Play
COVID.
safe. Yeah. Play safe. Get a vaccination.
That's right. Call your damn doctor.